Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dan Expedition. I'm your host, Dan. Just so you all know, I've been looking forward to this episode for a long time now. Sometimes between all the culture and the history, we lose track of the damn interesting and the fun. Today, we're stepping into a different side of Kyoto, one that doesn't just preserve tradition, but projects imagination. When most people think of Kyoto, they think of ancient ornate temples, exquisite tea houses, and for the more imaginative, maybe a geisha or two slipping through quiet, quintessentially Japanese-themed streets. And that's all true. That's definitely Kyoto. But Kyoto also has a playful side, a creative side. In this episode, we embark to a place where comics and culture intertwine, exploring the expressive power of Japanese manga and how paper panels have shaped everything from pop culture to education. And along the way, we'll also discover a form of storytelling that helped give birth to it all. Then, from the flick of a brush to the press of a control stick, we move from the world of paper stories to piloted suits and philosophical questions wrapped in armor plating. And just when things seem to be at their most futuristic, we return to the roots of authority and artistry. We walk through chambers built not just to impress, but to rule. So whether you're into comics, tech, or just curious about the quirky corners of culture, this episode's got something for you. Let's go! The Kyoto International Manga Museum is a unique cultural institution that celebrates the world of manga. The museum is located in the heart of Kyoto in an historic former elementary school building from 1929. Opened in 2006 as a joint collaboration between the city of Kyoto and Kyoto SEGUE University, a known leader in manga studies to collect, preserve, and exhibit manga. It houses a vast collection of manga, from classic works of woodblock caricature prints from the 18th century Edo period to popular modern masterpieces. Its wooden interiors and classroom-like setting blends nostalgia with modern creativity. Boasting a collection of over 300,000 titles, it's an absolute treasure trove. The museum's astounding wall of manga is a true highlight. Spanning over 200 meters, it's an interactive experience that visitors can freely browse and then read in one of the many comfortable areas in the museum. You can sit back, relax, take your time, and enjoy. There's outdoor reading areas and family-friendly spaces, making it a welcoming place for visitors of all ages. The museum often organises hands-on workshops where visitors can learn manga drawing techniques and character design. It hosts live drawing events and cosplay gatherings to connect fans with creators and enthusiasts.
Regular exhibitions are curated to explore the rich history of manga, its diverse genres, and its iconic creators that have breathed life into the industry with their art, ideas, and stories. Through periodic displays that showcase original artworks, manuscripts, and rare editions, the museum offers a deeper understanding of manga, its artistic and cultural impacts. Now, it's more than just a museum though. It has facilities available for scholars and researchers interested in manga. It's a complete hub for manga studies, as the museum itself conducts research, preserves vintage manga, and supports academic projects. The museum is a new kind of cultural facility that concurrently performs both library and museum functions. For a fee, visitors can borrow manga to take away and read to their heart's content. Although most of the displays, exhibitions, and manga are in Japanese, there is a growing international section offering manga in English and other languages from all around the world. The museum also at times features works by international artists and often hosts them for talks. And if you got kids along, have a look at their special children's library and plan in advance so you can be sure to check out their periodic performances of Kamishibai.
Kamishibai is a traditional Japanese art form that combines live storytelling with large illustrated cards. More than simple entertainment, it has been used to teach history, captivate children, and convey complex ideas through a vivid visual medium. It originated in Japanese Buddhist temples as early as the 8th century, where monks used emakimono, long hand-painted scrolls that combine text and image to narrate temple histories and moral lessons. The word Kamishibai itself means paper theatre, kami meaning paper and shibai referring to drama or performance. Over time, Kamishibai evolved into a more public and interactive form of street storytelling. It became a shared community experience, and in urban areas, it became a cherished part of neighborhood life. The Kamishibaya, or storyteller, would travel to busy street corners with a bicycle-mounted miniature stage and a set of illustrated boards. Stationed at the busy corner, they would face the crowd and read aloud from the back of each board while showing the matching image on the front. With each turn of the narrative, a card would slide aside to reveal the next scene, drawing the audience deeper into the story. To gather an audience, the Geito Kamishibaya, or street performer, would clap wooden sticks called hyoshiji. The sharp sound not only signaled their arrival, but also built anticipation. Before the performance began, they would sell sweets to the audience, an important source of income for many storytellers. Once ready, the performer would unfold the butai, the small wooden stage, and begin the story. Some added sound effects or theatrical voices to enhance the drama. And while mass-printed cards were common, many skilled Kamishibaya preferred to hand-paint their own illustrations, making each performance a one-of-a-kind experience. Kamishibai reached the height of its popularity during the Great Depression of the 1930s, where it provided an affordable entertainment and comfort during hard times. It remained popular into the post-war years, especially in urban neighborhoods where children played outdoors. During World War II, Kamishibai was even repurposed as a tool for wartime propaganda and public messaging, acting as a kind of analog evening news. By the 1950s and 60s, Kamishibai's popularity declined with the rise of television, earning it the nickname the TV before TV. Still, it left a strong cultural imprint. Today, Kamishibai lives on in libraries, schools, and museums, where it's used as both an educational tool and a form of performance art. In a surprising twist, Kamishibai also has found a place in modern industry, used in manufacturing and quality control as a visual management system to ensure clarity, consistency, and safety. Kamishibai's impact can be felt in the very DNA of Japanese pop culture. Several pioneering manga artists, including Shigeru Mizuki and Senpei Shirato, began their careers as Kamishibai storytellers. The structure, pacing, and dramatic sequencing of Kamishibai played a foundational role in shaping the language of modern manga and anime today.
The Kyoto International Manga Museum is a significant destination for manga fans worldwide. Its collection of works in multiple languages reflect the universal reach of manga, And the museum itself also explores how manga influences other media such as anime, games, and film. Whether you're a manga enthusiast or just a casual fan, the Kyoto International Manga Museum offers something for you.
Truly a museum after my own heart. Now, bear with me because that's not all. Welcome to the Museum of Kyoto. Established in 1967 under the private institution Godaikaku Kyokai, also known as the Paleological Association of Japan, and opening in May 1968 as the Heian Museum of Ancient History, until 1986 when the Kyoto government had a vision that became the present-day Museum of Kyoto. Housed in the former Kyoto branch of the Bank of Japan, it's iconic with its striking red brick facade and an excellent example of Western-style architecture from the late 19th century. In 1969, it was designated an important cultural property of Japan. And just next door, in a complete contrast of style, is the museum's annex, modern and sleek, designed by Tatsuno Kingo, a prominent architect known for his influence on Japan's modern architectural landscape, and his apprentice Uhiji Nagano. In brief, the Kyoto Museum offers a comprehensive look into the city's layered history and vibrant culture, tracing the city's evolution from the 10th century onward. It has a fine arts and crafts gallery to admire exquisite costumes and finely crafted artworks. Prefer film over fine arts? The museum's movie hall and movie gallery celebrate Kyoto's cinematic legacy, an often overlooked but fascinating chapter of the city's creative past. Maybe next season. And if you go, don't miss the Roji Tempo, a recreated Edo period merchant street inside the museum with actual real shops. But today, we're heading upstairs to the 3rd floor, something a bit different. I've been seeing posters for this all around the city. And as a longtime fan of all things futuristic and chrome-plated, I couldn't resist. Without further ado, welcome to the Museum of Kyoto and its special exhibition, Giant Robots, the core of Japanese mecha anime. I don't know. The exhibition takes a deep dive into the wild, wonderful world of giant robots in Japanese anime. It looks at two things in particular: mechanism and size, the big ideas behind why these oversized mechs feel so real. Through the lens, the exhibition tries to answer what sounds like a simple question: what are giant robots? Our story kicks off with Tetsujin 28 Go from 1963. Known overseas as Gigantor, this was one of the genre's founding fathers. The designs were big, blocky, and very industrial. Think factory meets superhero. These early robots weren't piloted from inside. No. They were remote controlled, like a glorified RC car, if your RC car was the size of a building. It all reflected the post-war obsession with machines, steel, and the promise of technology. Then came the 1970s and 80s, and everything changed. In 1972, Mazinger Z said, "Hey, what if pilots sat inside the robot?" And just like that, the genre leveled up. Suddenly, the robots weren't just tools. They were extensions of the pilot's mind, body, and occasionally angst. Visually, the designs evolved too. Gone were the boxy beasts. Now robots were sleeker, more humanoid, more aerodynamic, and honestly, cooler. Enter Mobile Suit Gundam in 1979, a show that's still going strong today. It brought in military sci-fi realism with interchangeable weapons, practical mechanics, and robots that look like they could actually work. We're all talking space battles, laser swords, and just the right amount of teenage existential crisis. Fast forward to the 90s and things get weirder, in a good way. In 1995, Neon Genesis Evangelion arrived with robots that weren't fully machines anymore. No, they were living beings with teeth, bones, and issues. The robots were connected to their pilots on a psychological and biological level. Some even had claws, horns, or armor that looked like it came straight out of a nightmare. Subtle? No. Fascinating? Absolutely. And with all this power and complexity, the genre grew deeper too. It started asking tough questions about war, trauma, identity, and the very human cost of strapping yourself into a skyscraper-sized war machine. Even today, giant robot anime keeps pulling in fans with its mix of epic action, incredible designs, futuristic tech, and just enough realism to make you think, you know, maybe. But here's the kicker. Giant robots aren't just stuck on the screen anymore. In Japan, they've literally stepped into real life. Since 2009, there's been an 18-meter tall Tetsujin 28 statue standing proudly in Kobe's Wakamatsu Park. In Tokyo's Odaiba district, you'll find a 19.7-meter RX-0 Unicorn Gundam that actually transforms from Unicorn mode to the glowing, fearsome Destroy mode. It even has a light show at night. It's basically a rock concert, but for robots. But if you want to see the biggest, head to LaLaport in Fukuoka. That's where you'll find the tallest giant robot statue in Japan, the RX-93FF Gundam, towering at 24.8 meters. It's ridiculously cool. Now, until March 2024, Yokohama had something extra special, a moving Gundam, the RX-78F00. Standing at 18 meters, it could actually move arms, legs, head, everything. It had 36 moving parts, could kneel, pose, even do a little robotic stretch. And yes, I'm still kicking myself for missing it. But all is not lost. That same Gundam has been reassembled with some slick new light blue panels and renamed the RX-78F00/E. It's now kneeling, arms raised dramatically to the sky like it's auditioning for an anime opening. You find it at Expo 2025 in Osaka on Yumishima Island, although it doesn't look like it'll be moving anymore. Fingers crossed though. Now hold up, this whole genre isn't just about Gundam. Have you heard about Mobile Police Patlabor? Well, this franchise kicked off in 1988 with manga and quickly expanded into anime, films, and games. Set in near-future Tokyo, it imagines a world where robots, called labors, are used in everything from construction to police work. The main story follows a special police unit equipped with giant mechs called Patlabors. The names are a mashup of patrol and labor. And here's where things get wild, because the police in Japan actually built one. How don't you love Japan? The Ibaraki Prefectural Police created a full-size AV-98 Ingram from the anime, and they even roll it out occasionally on the back of a truck. It raises up just like it does in the show. Don't believe me? Have a look at this. We do. Come on, tell me you don't love Japan. Wow. So there you have it, guys. Giant robots aren't just fiction anymore. They're parked in parks, striking poses in plazas, and popping up on police trucks. The future is here, and it's got a pilot seat. From towering robots of imagined futures, our next stop swaps metal and mechs for wood and whispers, and a whole lot of Japanese history.
Yes!
Back in episode 1, I asked if you were interested in knowing more about the palaces of Nijo Castle. And today, I'm delivering.
Oh wait, I got your delivery here, mate.
Let's head to Nijo Castle. Nijo Castle, once the lavish Kyoto residence of the Tokugawa shoguns. Within its walls are two stunning palace complexes. The Ninomaru-goten, or Secondary Circle Palace, and the Honmaru-goten, or Main Circle Palace. Both offer a rare glimpse into the life, architecture, and aesthetic control of Japan's ruling elite during the Edo period. Let's start with the Ninomaru-goten, the star attraction. This sprawling palace is made up of over 30 rooms and more than 800 tatami mats, linked by corridors that aren't just decorative, they're defensive. These corridors are fitted with what's known as a Nightingale floor, or Uguisubari in Japanese. At first glance, it's just polished wooden flooring, but step on it and the planks sing, literally. The nails and boards were arranged in such a way that walking across them produces a soft chirping sound, reminiscent of a nightingale's call. Elegant, yes, but also incredibly practical. This was security through sound, a kind of 17th century alarm system. No one could even tiptoe around undetected without waking the birds. Visitors today often find it delightfully eerie that even a stealthy creep triggers the melodic squeaks. It's both a practical alarm and a quirky historical soundtrack. Echoing through the shogun's halls. But the security didn't stop with clever carpentry. The walls and sliding doors of the Ninomaru-goten are covered in majestic paintings created by the Kano school, Japan's dominant painting style of the time. Many of them feature fierce animals, particularly tigers and lions, symbols of strength and authority. Now, here's where things get interesting. You might notice that the lions and tigers look a little stylized. That's because the artists had never actually seen a live tiger or lion. Japan had no native big cats, and these painters had to rely entirely on imported animal skins, illustrations from China, or second-hand descriptions. The result? Creatures that sometimes look more like cats in cosplay than apex predators. Some of the painted tigers have spots like leopards or oddly cub-like proportions. One belief at the time was that leopards were just female tigers. That's why in one scene, you'll see a tiger couple by a stream, one striped, one spotted, just vibing. These artistic liberties give the murals a fantastical charm. Despite the anatomical quirks, they absolutely did their job, intimidating guests and protecting the palace with the power of art. On the top of that, almost every panel in Fusama is backed in gold leaf. This wasn't just to show off. The reflective gold actually helped brighten up dim rooms before electricity. So not only was the decor dazzling, but it was functional. And let's be honest, if your walls are literally glowing gold, people know you're doing well. Even the ceiling and architectural layout were full of clever tricks. Hey, the Kano artists knew how to combine beauty and purpose. Now let's shift to the Honmaru-goten, the inner palace complex. The original palace here was actually destroyed by fire in the 18th century. The one you see here today is a bit of a transplant, brought over from the Kyoto Imperial Palace in the late 1800s, once the castle became imperial property. So yes, this castle once housed not just shoguns, but emperors too. While it's not always open to the public, the Honmaru-goten has its own charm. Single-story elegance, Meiji-era chandeliers, red carpets over tatami like a fusion between samurai and imperial chic. So whether it's floors that chirp, tigers that never purred, or gold that lights up a room, the palaces of Nijo Castle weren't just homes. They were carefully crafted statements of power, sophistication, and security. And as mentioned in episode 1, right here, when the last shogun surrendered power in 1867, he did it right here, in the grand hall of the Ninomaru-goten. So next time you visit, take a moment and listen. That floor under your feet, it's singing the history of Japan. And that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. To close this episode, I do have a wonderful little extra for you. Remember, at the end of every episode is a random extra. This is the Dan Expedition. I'll catch you next time. Bye now. All this talk about giant robots from sci-fi and fantasy. I understand if it just doesn't compute. You're probably wondering, Dan, how are things going with real robots? I'm glad you asked. Did you know West Japan Railways has a giant robot employee?
Wow.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
That's okay, they don't. But to help with worker shortages and reduce accidents, they do have a 12-meter machinoid that honestly looks like something out of a 1990s sci-fi western. Yeehaw! Think if Wally went to the gym and got hired by a railway company. Debuting in July 2024, this large robot features a Pixar-esque head and arms that would make any bodybuilder proud. It's mounted on a truck that runs along the train tracks, and the operator sits in a cockpit on the truck, seeing through the robot's cameras, and controlling the limbs remotely. It can use various attachments. One moment it's painting, the next it's pruning trees. And yes, it can wield a chainsaw. Its main job, railway maintenance, trimming overgrown branches and painting overhead cable supports. But between us, I've heard whispers that future firmware updates may allow it to transform into a relentless, untiring mech that would take out its arch nemesis, the East Japan Railway.
We on a mission now. We serving robots, taking no shots, see the vision now. This from the ground up, put the rounds up, now we in and now.
Okay, I made that last part up.
What? Really?
But speaking of transforming mechs, have you heard about the Archax? Developed by Sabami Industries, the Archax is a fully electric, battery-powered robot named after the Archaeopteryx dinosaur. I didn't say that right. Archaeopteryx dinosaur. Standing at 4.5 meters tall and weighing at 3.5 tons, this sci-fi inspired machine can actually switch between two modes, humanoid mode and, wait for it, vehicle mode. In vehicle mode, the cockpit reclines and offers a 360-degree camera view across 4 monitors. It's controlled using 2 levers, 2 pedals, and a touch panel with 26 movable joints for expressive mobility. The wheels beneath its 4 robotic legs provide front-wheel steering and rear-wheel drive, topping at a blistering 10 kilometers per hour. Okay, sure, it's not going to outrun a Prius, but it will definitely turn more heads. Currently, it's marketed for entertainment, but future versions may be adapted for search and rescue or disaster response roles. As of 2023, the Archax is officially on sale, with the first 5 limited edition units scheduled for delivery around 2025, right about now. The price is around 3 million USD, but hey, good news is they come in 5 color schemes. You know, you've got sapphire blue with yellow, pearl white, aqua, spark red with yellow, Atlantis green with lime, and my personal favorite, midnight purple with red. Because if you're going to pilot your own mech, style matters.
Damn right.
And speaking of stylish mechs, even Mickey Mouse is getting one. That's true, no joke, no joke. As of January the 1st, 2024, Steamboat Willie, the original version of Mickey Mouse, entered the public domain, meaning anyone can now use that early incarnation of the infamous character. Bandai Namco wasted no time and announced a new toy, the Shokugan Super Change Mickey Mouse. It's basically Mickey transforming into a Gundam. I know, but seriously, after Hello Kitty Gundam, are we really surprised anymore? Okay, and before we go, here's a fun twist from China. Recently, in May 2025, Unitary Robotics hosted the world's first humanoid robot kickboxing competition in Hangzhou. The event featured Unitary's G1 robots, about 1.3 meters tall, facing off in one-on-one bouts with kicks, punches, and programmed combos. These machines are remotely controlled, but built to demonstrate agility, balance, and even the ability to recover from a fall. Okay, they're not giant mechs, but still, it's pretty interesting. Think less Rocky Balboa and more clunky code-driven kung fu. But it is a huge leap forward in real-world humanoid robotics. And in July 2025, things leveled up even more. The Kunlun Fight 104, a major martial arts event in Tongling, China, featured its very first dedicated robot kickboxing bracket. Yep, real robot rounds on a real fight card. The bots may be a bit robotic, but make no mistake, this is the dawn of combat sports 2.0. So between painting robots, transforming mechs, and Gundam Mickey throwdowns, It's safe to say real robots are no longer just fantasy. They're here, they're weird, and some of them might just be battle ready.